Hey, what's up? This is Matt with Let's Talk Music. I'm here with Jimmy and Trip of Gears. How we doing, fellas?
Well,
How are
fantastic,
you?
man. How
Very
are
well.
you?
I'm living the dream, man. Talking to people, you know.
Yeah, man. Awesome.
So you guys are Miami-based band, and quite a bit of music comes out of Florida. But your brand of music, man, I'm digging. Uh, the new single, "Don't Want to Say Goodbye." Just badass tune. And you and I, before we had some complications on Zoom, we had talked about this and that about it. But you know why don't you both give me just a little bit of what input, where your writing came from, and what made this song.
Oh man, yeah, yeah. The song we always wanted to make a song that represented our culture, our city. Being that Jimmy's lived here before, I'm living here now, and we're all from New York City boys, East Side boys, East Coast boy, and we just wanted to do something that had that Latin feel, that Latin flavor,
Mhm.
and hence Never Say Goodbye came out. And we got into production with the song with Chris Dawson and Jimmy Beatty, when they sent us the track. And I requested a certain beat behind it, a Latin beat called, reggaeton. And they we were able to get that beat, but it was too fast, for me
Right.
to do what I wanted to do behind it. So we did that little Spanish "Nunca me digas adios," and there it is, man. And the song's been doing super well so far on the charts and the radio right now, and it's on Octane right now on Test Drive. So we're very proud of it.
And yeah, how about you, Jimmy? What's your take on it?
Same thing, man. It was like, this is kind of stuff, that Trip and I have been talking about doing, for a long time. We just never really came to fruition or never really, had the tools or whatever. It just for whatever reason just never happened. So when we were talking about doing a batch of songs with Dawson and Jimmy Beatty, we were this was the first thing that we brought up, and they loved the idea. Started working on some stuff, sending some stuff back and forth, going through some ideas, and now you got what you have now.
Right. So who did your video work?
JT Ibanez, the maestro. He's so fucking good, man. Can I say fucking?
Yes, you can say fucking.
He is such an amazing dude to work with. Okay. Very cool, very laid back, gets what he wants out of you. And Jimmy and I hate doing videos. Making videos is the same thing over and over and over and over again for I don't know how many takes. Not with him. It's a lot of fun. He's just the best, man. That's all we can say.
Awesome. So you think you're going to use him in future videos?
Oh yeah. Until he gets expensive. He's getting there, man. The guy's turnaround on videos is like we'll shoot for 2 days. That's our routine.
Mhm.
And before Jimmy gets home, because he drives back to Lex, and before I get home on a plane, we already have something finished,
Right, like a rough draft.
Yeah,
like a first
draft.
edit, yeah,
There you
first
go.
edit type thing.
Yeah. So that's how fast he is, and it's usually really good, So I don't know, man. I love that dude, bro. He's now doing stuff with Orianti, and he's done stuff in the past with Smile Empty Soul and all other kinds of stuff. Clint Lowry, all kinds of stuff, man. He's all over the place, man.
Small Empty Soul, man. That's the name I haven't heard in a while.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually just in Ohio, down in about 120 miles from here, down in Marietta, Ohio.
Yeah. They play Philadelphia.
What is it?
Philadelphia,
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys played there?
We haven't played there. Last time we played Columbus was at the Newport with All That Remains. That was the last time we toured through Columbus.
Oh shit! See, I didn't see that one. I love All That Remains.
Yeah, they're good dudes.
Yeah,
really cool dudes.
we seen them. Obviously, if you've been to Columbus, you probably know about 99.7 The Blitz, our radio station.
Of course.
Yeah.
They have this great summer smoke out, and what it is where the tour buses normally park. They set up food trucks, and then there's 3 or 4 bands. Like this year, it's Disturbed and a couple other bands I can't remember exactly, but this one particular year we went, it was All That Remains was the headliner, and my stepdaughter loves like some of the newer stuff. She's not much into like Six and stuff, but like What If I Was Nothing, those songs.
Yeah.
We were standing in line to get something to eat, and Ollie walked by, God rest his soul,
yes,
and tapped her on the head and said, "Excuse me, kid." He always talks about that.
Yeah, Ali, man, we miss Ali, man. When we were on tour with them, it was something special, man. That dude is special, and he's so down to earth. And man, we had so many conversations, and him and I and the band and I, it was just awesome to tour with those guys until we got the news, and that was heartbreaking, very heartbreaking.
It was, as a fan, it was,
We had just come off the road with them. I mean, we were just on the road with those guys. Yeah. And like, everybody was cool on that tour. That whole, we were out from like Memorial Day and then did a bunch of runs with them like right in a row. And it was finished up like right in September or October. And then he passed not long after that, I think. Mm-hmm. It was crazy because, everybody got along and hung out and everything. But every night at the end of the night, sitting on at the corner of the bar, it was me, Trip, Jason, and Ollie, and just bullshitting about something, bullshitting about nothing. It just didn't matter. We had a lot of hang time with those guys. So it hit pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean it was tough because like I said, it was I was kind of feeling my cookies. You know what I mean? I was there trying to get something to eat, suck up some of the alcohol, and I saw him walk by and tap her on the head, and I was like, "Was that Ollie?" And it was like, "Yeah, he's carrying a guitar case and stuff." I was like,
"Always,
holy shit," And so it was
a wizard, man, that wizard.
So, and actually, Phil, his wife's from Gahanna, Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's actually a suburb of Columbus. It's kind of a ritzy area, but
right.
But I mean, you're drumming on the new album. Was that kind of with the Latin feel? Was that kind of different from what you're used to, or was that just?
It was really different than what I'm used to. It was cool to be able to incorporate those ideas into a heavy song. It was definitely, that was the first time that put that all together and put it into a track. So that in that way, yeah. But I mean, it's like when you're a drummer, kind of play around with all different types of styles. And I've always been like a big fan of like that kind of like alternate from rock, those kind of like syncopated rhythms, and the 4 on the floor, the that kind of stuff, and because it creates so much space, you can do so many things in between it. Right. So but yeah, so it wasn't like really a new style for me, but it was definitely a new idea to incorporate into what Gears is kind of what we do.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, being from Miami, I mean, there is a lot of Latin culture down there, Latin and Cuban, and I mean, it's
sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a cesspool.
I think.
I wasn't gonna say a cesspool. I mean, I've actually, every time I've been in Miami, I've enjoyed it.
They say that Miami is the most northern city from South America, man. So, I love my city, man, but god damn it, man, they need to make English over there. So, but
Yeah.
no, I'm joking. Miami's great, but Miami has everything of everything. You know, not just in the Latino side, Caribbean side also.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people just are Europeans. A lot of Europeans also. You know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
it's a
it's
pretty
very
big
cool.
mix of culture.
Yeah, it's very cool, man. I really enjoy it
So let me ask you something, man. Either one of you guys ever had Cuban coffee?
every day,
Man,
Yeah,
ain't
every
that
every
day
like
that I'm
a
day.
there.
shot of
I
liquid
won't get it
cocaine?
anywhere else but there. But every day that I'm
Yeah,
there, I have at least one.
every day
It's
is
so
like
funny they hand you the little cups and you're like, nah, we're
Right.
good.
Yeah.
the cup is
But I
like
mean, it's a whole
this big.
espresso mix. Yeah.
The cup is like this big, and they hand you 10 little cups like this big.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
I remember first time I was down there. I drive truck for a living. I'm not over the road anymore, but when I was down there, uh, I drove, I think, straight from Columbus. So I was tired as hell. And the one guy says, "Man, you look really tired." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not, I'm just going to sleep while you guys unload me." He says, "Well, let me give you some of this." I said, "What is it?" He says, "Cuban coffee." I said, "Okay." And so I get
2 days
it.
later.
And I threw it back. And I was like, he said, "Oh." I said, "What?" He says, "You're supposed to sit that." I said, "Give me another one." He says, "No, no, no, no." I said, "Give me another one." He
Uh-huh.
says, "You got to be careful." I said, "Just give me another one." Needless to say, I reloaded and drove straight back to Columbus without sleeping.
Yeah,
I was about to say 2 days later, dot, 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 like
yeah,
the screen cuts.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that stuff was pretty awesome.
yeah.
So, what's after this, buddy? I mean, what's next from the new single? You gonna pump out another one here in a couple weeks, couple months? Where we at?
Sooner than you think.
Sooner than I
It's
think.
gonna be, it's gonna be very soon. You'll actually start seeing details about that this Friday. Got some other stuff coming your way. I don't want to say too much about it yet because still putting together, the last, finishing pieces of the marketing and everything. But yeah, it's going to be a quick turnaround from this song to the next one.
Yeah, I think me and Trip talked about this when we kind of decided to reschedule because he was said something about uh we need to do it quick because this song is only be good for this amount of time. Wasn't that you, Trip?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Remind me not to do any crimes with you in the future, all right, bro?
I could be a
Yeah.
Yeah.
little I
Well,
could be a little more hush hush about that.
to elaborate on that, this was kind of a release that we wanted to do kind of for ourselves. We didn't really know how anybody was going to react to it, so we kept the timeline short on it, as far as what's going to be pushed. But then it is kind of like, it's not blowing up, but it's blowing up for us. It's getting a really good and
Well, yeah, I mean,
reaction.
featured
And
on Octane, that's awesome.
yeah, and I mean, we didn't really think that any of that was going to happen with it. This was kind of just a music. This is the first song that we did with Dawson. We loved it. We wanted to put it out. We wanted to do a video for it. So, the promotional and marketing radio team kind of said, well, let's at least like send it out and see how people, like it, because we were just going to kind of do like an underground, like street single type thing. But, and it really has been, the results have been, more than what we expected. So that being said, yeah, we have a couple more releases at least until the end of the year, and we're going to start moving on those here shortly.
Okay. What about tour plans?
We would love to, man. It's a tough economy, that tour economy right now. With diesel where it is, and shortage of buses and drivers and vehicles. It's there's a lot of things that are kind of going against us. Of course, we want to be out there. It just has to make sense. It's like we can't be going and paying more than double what the normal bus rate is, just to hurry up out there, because when we're a DIY band, we don't have any big record label machine behind us pushing anything, pumping money into it. So if we go out and we overextend ourselves expense wise, then you don't get to hear from us for 6 or 7 months until we kind of like recoup from that and make a better plan. So releasing music right now seems to be the best way for us to be able to, reach and engage everybody, more frequently. Of course, there's always some talks about some things, touring here, touring there, doing, with this band, with that band, but there's nothing solid yet. Hopefully we'll have something, in the near future. I know that it's a question that everybody asks, and most of the people that have seen us before, are always wanting to, are usually wanting us to come back to their city. It's a tough game right now. The economy is rough.
It's not even so much the economy. I think it's more that, independent artists don't get the recognition they deserve. And so, like you said, everything is on your dime. And, it takes your money to make your album. It takes your money to, put out any kind of hard copies you want. It takes your money to tour. And
Absolutely.
yeah, it's sad, man, because like me and Jimmy talked last time that we was on here, I've found that I've enjoyed more independent artist music than I have mainstream. Because y'all put your heart and soul into it. You're putting all your own money into it. I mean, to you, it means more than what it does to somebody that's, on a label.
Right.
And it's it's just sad that there's nobody to back you guys. And I mean, I wish I could, I wish I just had plenty of money to say, hey man, I want to throw together this, tour. I was actually thinking about it earlier as I was driving. I was just like, man, it'd be awesome because we got Matt Free Stadium here, which is where Rock on the Range used to be. And, I was thinking, man, just to fill that place up and have a 3-day festival of nothing but independent artists, would be great.
Yeah.
Charging $300-$400 a ticket like they do,
Yeah.
You gotta have the draw too,
dude, that's that whole thing. That's a tough nut too, man, because, you gotta get independent artists, but you gotta get, ones that have been pretty well, marketed. You got to get the ones that have some fan base, and it's harder, but there's a lot of freedom to do, in being an independent artist. Like, it's not all bad.
But you guys, I mean, you guys all have a fan base. Everybody that I've talked to has a fan base. I mean, it's whether it's just in your local area or whatever, and that's what I'm trying to do is, throw you up on YouTube and my Facebook and whatever, and trying to get you heard by people that I know and stuff. Sure. I mean, just like I got a buddy that I went to high school with. His band's called Illusions. You should check them out. They're pretty cool. They just opened up for Edema and Crazy Town.
Right.
Nice.
And
that was recently, right?
Yeah. Like,
that's with they're out with Head PE.
Head PE.
Right.
And,
Head PE, yeah. And Fall.
Edema. Yeah, and Fall's on there too.
Yeah. So that when they was through here, he opened up for him. And I mean, it just, his fan base was here, but I'm sure that there was other fans from, surrounding states, Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky, whatever.
Sure,
yeah. So, I mean, it is, man. It's so tough anymore that it's like the music industry is just, it's almost, I tell you that like the entertainment industry period is shit. and it's all because of all the free shit you get streaming, and I'm not gonna lie, man. I got 1,000 or so songs downloaded to my my
playlist.
To my phone, but I mean, back in the day, man, we liked a band, we bought a damn tape.
Yeah,
sure, yeah.
CD, whatever, and it's like it needs to get back to that somehow. I mean, because I see your face, Trip, but I mean, what I'm saying with that is like the way that you guys really, really make your money is through album sales and touring. So now album sales is cut out, now you got touring, and I mean, most of the people that I've talked to that are independent artists have said that they're making pennies on the dollar for their streaming.
Well, that's a sword with a double edge. You know what I mean? Because singles market for us is where it's at least. You know, because we don't have the big budgets to go into a studio and spend $250,000 on an album. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or not. We don't have that budget. So for us, it makes more sense to go ahead and just release singles after singles, just keep you engaged. Because can you imagine we release 10 songs and you're only going to listen to 2 or 3, maybe, you know,
True.
you might get out there. Now, if I go ahead and take those 10 songs and release them periodically, you know, throughout the year, throughout the next 2 years, with a video, with something that you'll be more engaged. You'll be like, oh, the band is doing this, the band is doing that. You might not like the song, but you'll be like, all right, what's next? I'll keep you on that hook.
Right.
Bigger bands, that works. I agree with you. Put out an album, that is cool. Seeing a huge band and being like, oh man, look at this album, look at the album cover, look at how cool. That is cool. But again, it's all what level you're in, you know. And as an independent artist, as we are, it's more beneficial this way for us. And yeah, you make shit money on streams. We know that. But it's kind of like a business card now, your music as an independent artist, you know.
Right.
You present your music, bang, you get likes, people like you, they follow you, and then your money is like what you said when you go out on tour. You go on tour, you perform, you make some money there, and then you make your money on merch. See, we make all our money on merch.
Right.
You know, there's tours that we've been on that we don't get a dime. Okay, it's just you playing. But we make all our money on merch. But then you got to have some cool merch too. You know what I mean? And be able to sell. And like Jimmy and I, we're salesmen. You know what I mean? And like we don't go to the tour bus when we finish.
Yeah.
You know, performing. We'll go to the booth and shake your hand and kiss your babies and hug your wives and you know what I mean? And you know, but you know what I mean? It's all harmful, obviously. But you know, sign autographs and you know give out stuff, and it's really cool. I like that engagement, to be quite honest with you.
I mean,
meeting my fans and all that.
Yeah. And as fans, we enjoy that engagement. You know, it's it's always cool to say, I met this person, I met that person.
Yeah.
I remember I took my son to a Megadeth concert, and one of his favorite bands, Suicide Silence, was opening up, and that was before Mitch died. And I didn't have any idea, so he's like, "Yeah, these are one of my favorite bands." And you know, I'm listening to this guy, and I'm like, I can't understand a fucking word he's saying, but the music is banging. You know, and afterwards they come out and, you know, he got a picture with him, got an autograph and everything. And he was happier than a pig in shit, you know?
Yeah, man.
So, I mean, that does, it means a lot to people that, you know, your fans and everything else. And I mean, I know it's a business. It's not, it's a tough business. It's a cutthroat business. And it's you guys, I mean, I admire you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's tough, but it's like it's a unique situation too. You know, it's once you kind of hit your stride, you know, with the records, touring, all that stuff, it does like become I don't want to say easier, but a lot easier, like, you know, to swallow. You know, as far as like, you know, when you're out there and you're playing shows and you're getting to like, personal relationships with people. That's an important part of it, you know, just to engage the audience and bring them into your journey. And, you know, that's kind of what
that's the cool part.
That's the part that I like, the part that, you know, that is, you know, will drive you, you know, to keep going.
Yeah. See, man, I mean, I'd love to, I want to be down in Port Canaveral on the 8th of September. Wouldn't mind making that drive down, hanging with you guys, but you know, we got to catch a cruise ship. So,
yeah, where you headed to?
We're going to Grand Turk, the Amber Cove in the Dominican Republic, and we were supposed to go to San Juan, but
Okay.
Puerto Rico kind of threw up some more COVID restrictions, so we're going to the Bahamas, which I've never been there. So
Yeah,
Nice.
Bahamas is cool too, man. You enjoy it
You'll
Yeah.
enjoy that trip for sure.
for
yeah,
sure.
so but man, I mean, like I said, I mean, for the longest time, dude, I was, Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, 3 Days Grace, bands that were coming out that I'm just like, oh man, these guys are the shit. And I mean, they are the shit. But
Mhm.
since I've been doing this recently, I mean, I started a while back and I kind of cut it off for a while. Just wasn't really doing that great at it. And then, started mingling with these publicists
Mhm.
and getting with people. And I mean, I did one with Tommy Vex. I did one with Keith Wallen
Yeah.
from Breaking Benjamin, and cool guys. But I mean, Tommy's kind of on his own now. Keith, we were talking about his tour that he's getting ready to go out on with Red, by himself as a solo artist. And, it's, I love the enthusiasm. I love the just passion you guys have as independent artists. I think honestly, if you talk to some big signed band, they're going to act enthusiastic during the interview, but they're going to walk away like, yeah, well, that's the 100th one I've done or whatever, it's,
Yeah.
so it's great to talk to you guys. Cause I mean, I mean, look, Trip, you're just, sitting there picking at your beer, smiling,
Yeah. Well, you
it's-
gotta have passion for this stuff. You know what I mean? It's all passion. I think once I lose the passion for this, it's time for me to quit.
Right.
Mhm.
Because it won't be fun no more.
And
So yeah, we've done plenty of interviews. I mean, Jimmy and I do interview every release. We're doing hundreds of interviews. But we tend to approach it with a positive attitude and give the interviewer a run for their money, give them what we naturally have,
right.
which is enthusiasm, which is the love and passion that we have for this art that we call music. So yeah, man, I mean, this is how you're gonna catch us all the time.
Well,
All
see,
the time.
with me, man, it's more of, I'm sure that you guys have done interviews where it's just like questions, and
Sure.
I'm not about that. I'm going to ask you about your single. I'm going to ask you about your album, might ask you about your wife and kids, whatever.
Mm.
But for the most part, I just like talking music with people.
Yeah.
That's why I call it Let's Talk Music.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
I talk about what you're interested in. I talk about what I'm interested in, just, kind of mesh and let me, I'll let you know that I dig your sound. And,
Thank you.
I actually was talking about after we come back from our cruise in September, setting up a podcast. And,
Hey.
Nice. There you go.
it's going to be, I mean, this is kind of a podcast, but it goes on YouTube. What I want to do is, where you got the platforms of like iHeartRadio and shit like that. I want you guys to send me your newest single, and I can put in there and say, hey, everybody, this is Gear's newest single. Check it out. It's, such and such, bam, play it, because with independent artists, there's not the label or the creator or this or that to deal with.
Sure.
I've got, your permission to play the song and I can play it.
Right.
So that's where I want to get to is I want to get, you guys out there the best that I can.
I appreciate that, man. We
We
need more
appreciate it,
people
yeah.
like you, doing that for independent artists, man. So
Yeah, I mean-
we appreciate you, man. And we could tell that I could tell that you really enjoy what you do. Because you want to be doing this shit at 8:45 at night. You know what I mean? And whatever. You know
I
what I
love
mean?
it, dude.
It's passion. You see what I mean? You
Right.
see what that's the way we are when we are on the road. It's like, yeah, we know we're getting into debt for $30,000 when we come back home. God damn it, we have fun when we're on the road, and we perform.
Right.
And that 45 minutes that we're on stage makes it worth all, And
Yeah.
you know what? It's like Jimmy and I say to each other, when we die, we ain't taking none of this shit anyway. So might as well have fun, right?
True.
True story. True
Yeah,
story.
yeah. I mean, I got stuff to make merch. I got, my laptop, my little, microphone set up, my webcam. I bought,
Nice, man.
freaking wireless microphones for when I do videos. I mean, or not videos, but live performances. It's just, I've sunk probably a few $1,000s into it. And I mean, I've really had no return, but my return is, again, getting to talk to you guys, getting to know different bands, getting to hear different music. I mean, the guys that I just did before you, they're called As the World Burns, and they're kind of a melodic rap rock kind of band. And I heard their song and I was like, holy shit, I love that. And 5-6 years ago probably would have been something I've been like, change the channel. But I really listened to it, and I'm like, man, these guys are good, and I mean, it's great to meet you guys and talk to you guys that just, from all over. I mean, I've done a band from Poland, India,
It's amazing the position that you're in to listen to all these great musicians that are out there that are not signed.
It is.
You're like, what the fuck? How come these guys are not on the radio? And then you listen to radio and you're like, God damn it, this shit sounds so generic.
Yep. Cookie cutter is how it's been described, or manufactured music. Unfortunately. Yeah, well, that's where the industry is. So I guess you guys can feel fortunate that you are independent, because you're not a cookie cutter manufactured band.
Yeah, we just need the money from the label. We don't care about it. Many indie bands be like, yeah, fuck the label. No, I don't say fuck the label. I need the money from the label.
Right.
I mean, let's be realistic here. We need money.
Hey, man, I tell you, everybody that I've talked to about it, they're like, hey, if the right deal comes along, don't think I won't jump on it.
Oh, yeah.
For sure,
everybody will.
Everybody, even the people say it won't, they will.
Oh, yeah.
They will. They will
for sure.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Well, it's 9:20. We've been on here for a minute, so I'm going to let you guys go so you can enjoy your evening.
Thank you, sir.
I really appreciate your time this evening. I really appreciate you rescheduling with me, and
sure.
I'm looking forward to some new shit. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
It's coming soon.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Let's
do it again.
Thanks for having us.
All right, guys.
Good night.
Have a good night, man.
Peace.
Bye, guys.
Later.
Take care, bro.